Brownie! Not gonna lie, you might hear barking during this episode. That's Brownie and Duke. And they are visiting. And I love it. Let's get this episode started. Welcome back to Not Gonna Lie, a Wave original brought to you by Liquid Death. Liquid Death is not scary. It's not. It sounds scary, but it's not. It's actually some of the best water you'll ever drink. It's cool and refreshing. You get to do the little when you open the can. It's lovely. I'm your host, Kylie Kelce. I go places I have no business being. I talk to people I have no business talking to. I'm a high school field hockey coach, and I hate surprises. Period. Coming up on today's episode, St. Paddy's Day weekend is almost here. So I'm going to return to my McDevitt roots. That's right. I used to be very Irish. Now I'm a Kelce, and who knows what the heck that is. If anyone wants to figure that out, please let me know. It's a great debate in our household. We're going to return to my Irish roots for a very Irish edition of Can I Be Honest? And after that, I'll be joined by a woman I have no business speaking to, actress Kat Dennings. I'm going to talk to Kat about growing up in the Philly suburbs, her incredible career, and we'll see if she can help me convince Jason to adopt a cat. It's all coming up on today's episode. But before we do anything, we have the results of the 3 head-to-head matchups for the name of the NGL fan base. Queen Nicole, who runs our socials, totaled up the votes from Instagram and Twitter. And here are your winners. First, the biggest blowout victory goes to the Kylie over the Outliers. I agree with this decision. 67% of the total vote to 33%. That's outstanding. Way to get in there, guys. Then we had a closer race between the Flockers versus the FAFOs. FAFOs won with a total of 52.7%. That's close. I like that. I like that it was a tight race. And lastly, the Real Ones versus the Kylie, a real nail biter. And the only one that had a different result on Instagram and Twitter. What? But when we totaled all the votes, the Real Ones, yes, the Kylie. That's okay, because Kylie and Kylie were close. So this is great that you weeded this out. And Queen Emma, inside scoop, she's really rooting for the Real Ones. So if you love Queen Emma, do your thing. Your official finalists, the Kylie, the FAFOs, and the Real Ones. We'll be posting, and by we'll, I mean Queen Nicole. We'll be posting the final poll very soon. Make sure to follow us at NGL with Kylie to vote. I'm still unsure which one I'm rooting for. Get your foot. Thank you. There's no room in there anymore. And it hurts. I can't breathe, and it hurts. And we're back. Okay, we'll be posting the final poll very soon. Make sure to follow us at NGL with Kylie to vote. I am unsure who I'm voting for because I feel like these are 3 strong options. But I will say I do tend to lean in the direction that Queen Emma sways because I love her. And so maybe it's the Real Ones, guys. We're going to find out so soon. It's so much fun. I can't wait to find out. Okay, but seriously, follow us and make sure you're voting at NGL with Kylie. You got this. I believe in you. Moving on. St. Patrick's Day is on Monday, but the Real Ones know. The Real Ones. I see what you did there, Queen Emma. She's trying to send subliminal messaging. I'll do it. I don't care. Moving on. St. Patrick's Day is on Monday, but the Real Ones know. The celebrations will go down this weekend at probably every Irish pub in the world. At the very least in the U.S. Growing up, St. Paddy's Day was a busy day in our household. Much to my father's chagrin, he got to say that his daughters, who were anywhere from the ages of 8 to, we did it until we were probably My sister was probably 15 or 16. We were dancing in bars on St. Paddy's Day. That's how we spent our St. Paddy's Day. We would do, with our Irish dancing school, we would do a tour, basically. And we would have a number of bars that we would go around to and basically like dance, usually with a live band. It was very fun. That was way back when you could still smoke in those bars. So my wig, yes, wig, for Irish dancing reeked of cigarette smoke. This sounds like a questionable parenting decision, but I swear it was an enriching experience. And we were really only in bars on St. Paddy's Day. It's come to my attention that there are some fun little traditions that parents do. I want to be clear. If you think I'm making leprechaun tracks on my floor, I think you missed the episode about our deadbeat elf, Emmy. I will not be doing any leprechaun tricks. It's not me. You got the wrong one. And as fans of the other podcast might remember, last year on St. Paddy's Day, my husband tricked me into doing an Irish dance with actual Irish dancers on a balcony at a bar where lots of people were watching. So we're actually going to put the clip in post because Queen Emma knows I don't want to relive it. I will say, we were at the bar to watch a friend of ours. They had friends whose daughter, Maggie, was Irish dancing with her dance school. I just thought we were going to watch. And then someone, my husband, and Chuck, our good friend, decided that they were going to team up against me. I don't know. I felt attacked. Okay. And then was asked, this is the really messed up part. I was asked by children to come and join them. And that felt wrong for me to say no. That felt mean-hearted, and I wasn't going to do it. So I said yes. And then I went up there. I took Irish dancing from when I was 4 until 7th grade. I don't know how old you are in 7th grade. So that long. I do think we'll have the girls do it. I do think the girls will enjoy it. Wyatt in particular, homegirl's got, her legs just keep growing. They're just getting like a string bean, just longer and longer and longer. Sometimes I feel like I should almost apologize about that, but I'm not gonna, because tall girls unite. But I really do think she could get those gangly suckers moving for some Irish dancing. Although last week, Wyatt did tell me when I said, maybe I'll start Irish dancing soon. She said, I'm not doing that. So I'll have to get her to change her tune. That's it for Can I Be Honest? St. Paddy's Day edition. Now, before I bring on Kat Dennings, I want to answer a couple more of your questions for a brand new edition of Ask Me Some Things, because Ask Me Anything was just a little too open-ended. Seriously, guys, calm down. From @ddev19. To me, you always look effortlessly beautiful. What? For your skin, hair, and makeup. What are your favorite products? Is your look really as easy as it looks, or do you have a team? That is so sweet. I'm going to save that for the days where I feel like a bridge troll. My pre-show routine is that I show up to this studio, approximately 5 minutes after when I was supposed to be in the studio, give or take 5 minutes. So it's usually 5 to 10 minutes past the time I was supposed to be here. I then proceed to frantically do my makeup while we go through our rundown. It's real professional shit going on over here. And the last most important step of my makeup routine is my mascara. That's it. There is not a team. I have been wearing the same makeup since high school. I do not wear a foundation. I wear a powder. Well, I guess it's technically a foundation, but it's Bare Minerals powder. I wear the same CoverGirl mascara. CoverGirl mascara. Vaseline. Chapstick. My formal. Like, this is like if we're getting really fancy. This is the most makeup I will do at any given point. Moisturizer. Concealer under my eyes. And on my eyelids just to hold eyeshadow. Bare Minerals matte foundation. Not foundation. Powder? I don't know what it is. Bronzer, some blush, and then I usually rub it off. Like, I put it on and then I rub it off because that makes sense. And then I do my eyebrows somewhere in there before that. I don't know. You guys really have some opinion on my eyebrows. Guys, if I cared, I would have fixed it by now. That sounds harsh, but I just need to, this is not my eyebrow. They look like cousins, and that's close enough, and I'm fine with that. And people who do eyebrows professionally, please stop sending me DMs that you want to fix my eyebrows. I don't have it in me. And then mascara. I've recently graduated to curling my lashes, so big deal. And some eyeshadow. And then chapstick. Sometimes lip gloss. Never with a color. No sparkle. God, no. What? No. That's it. That's my whole makeup routine. That's it for Ask Me Some Things. We'll be right back with today's guest. You know, the one I have no business speaking to. After this brief hydration break brought to you by Liquid Death. Another can of Liquid Death mountain water in the books. Oh, hi. I didn't see you guys there. I'm just kidding. This camera's always on. We should really look into that. I just wanted to show off this can of my favorite water. I buy Liquid Death for our house just about every time I'm out shopping. I love it because in a can, for some reason, it just tastes colder. I can't explain it. It's science. Look it up. I'm not going to do your job for you. It's delicious and kind of aggressive in its name. And I think we all know. If you're here, you can appreciate that. I love the mountain water, but you should also try Liquid Death soda-flavored sparkling water and their low-calorie iced tea. Liquid Death is available nationwide, literally anywhere you shop for water or iced tea. And for all Not Gonna Lie listeners, that's right, we got you a bargain. They're giving $2 off any 2 6-packs. Just go to liquiddeath.com/Kylie for details. You know her from Two Broke Girls, Thor, WandaVision, 40-Year-Old Virgin, The House Bunny, and the list goes on and on. She's currently starring in the hit sitcom Shifting Gears on ABC. She's also a fellow Philly suburbs girl and an advocate for animal rescue. Kat Dennings, welcome to Not Gonna Lie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been a fan of you for many years.
Oh.
I loved Two Broke Girls, just outstanding.
Thank you so much.
And very recently, I found out that we grew up very close to each other.
Yes, this is what I said before we rolled that I was really excited to talk to you about because we're both NARBs. We're NARBers babes.
This is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So we obviously popped on a little Wikipedia. Born in Bryn Mawr, so I'm assuming Bryn Mawr Hospital.
Correct. That's right.
And then grew up in Wynwood, Narberth?
Wynwood, but my best friend from childhood, whose name is Avi, and anyone who lives in Narberth now knows Avi. Do you know Avi?
What's Avi's last name?
Fox. Do you know Avi Fox? You must. Did she babysit you?
Is she a photographer?
Yes.
Stop. Oh my God, she photographed our welcome dinner for our wedding. She was the same year as my sister or a year older. I love Avi.
This is great publicity for Avi's photography business.
I'm so happy. That is crazy.
She's really amazing,
so
yeah.
The best.
Yeah.
But that really drags you into the NARB.
So I was in Narberth every day or every other day. I mean, we were best friends and I would just go over there and I still talk. I mean, obviously she and I still talk, but like I still talk to her next door neighbor, like on Instagram.
Yes.
And my dance teacher from Dance Express, shout out Dance Express, Miss Kathy.
Long-standing dance school there. Yeah. I went to school with a bunch of girls that danced there.
Yeah, I was a big disappointment. And not gonna lie, I sucked. But I had a good time.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, sure.
That's really why we're there.
Yeah.
The beginning of this episode, I spoke about Irish dancing because that's what I did growing up. And I know for a fact I was not cut out for any other form of dance.
Really? I took a couple of those classes.
Did you?
In like Paoli or something.
It's a good time.
It's fun. I don't know.
We had fun.
I can't believe that I'm saying this because it's such an old memory, but like my third Irish dance class, I drank out of someone else's water by accident and I never went back. That was like the moment where I was like, like something snapped in my brain and I just never went back there, which is pretty indicative.
To be fair, my germophobia would probably put me right in there.
I was really disturbed. Yeah.
I was a full-blown NARB because we grew up in my great-grandmother's house where like my mom spent a bunch of her time. And then my first official job was in the family-owned grocery store downtown.
Oh,
the American Family Market.
That just closed.
I know. And then my sister's first like official job was in Mapes next door.
I was just going to start crying because I won the Mapes coloring contest 2 years in a row.
No, you didn't.
I did, and I cheated. And I'm really sorry. I figured out.
The truth comes out.
Here it is. 30 years later, I figured out I figured out how to do it, and I cheated, and I feel really bad about it. But c'est la vie,
Right?
Here's how to win.
That's amazing.
Here's how I figured out.
How was it? So what'd you do?
For the listeners, this is a 5 and 10. That is usually, I think maybe there's one location left or something, but they're mostly gone. The best place ever, Mapes 5 and 10. And every year they had a coloring contest for the kids and they'd give you the sheet and you'd do it. And then they'd hang up the first, second, and third behind the counter. And the first place would win like a $10 gift certificate or something, which buys a lot of stuff at the 5 and 10.
It did. It really did.
And every year I would lose and I would notice that the first place always had like a bunch of stuff on it, just like piles of paint, piles of pom-poms, piles of sequins. And I was like, that doesn't even look good. What the hell? So one year I decided to just see if the more crap I piled onto this picture would actually win. And it did. It did.
You want to know what happened? That's a marketing tactic. They were like, come in, shop our craft aisle, pile it on there, and then we'll give you that $10 gift card.
I'm not proud of it, but in a way, I kind of am. So
you should be. 2 years in a row is like you legitimately cracked the code.
Yeah. I mean, cheating on a children's coloring contest at the 5 and 10 is not the worst crime I could commit.
Is it a crime or was it just really smart, tactical behavior?
That's right. I'll go with that.
We're going with that.
Yeah.
The other thing about being a true Philadelphian is something that you've shared on your Instagram. And it is when you stare wistfully at pics of Wawa signs.
Yeah.
What's your order?
Well, I always get the same thing. And we're talking about hoagies, right?
Naturally, yes.
All right. I always, and this is controversial also, because I don't know if you remember Lee's Hoagie House. I think there's still a Lee's Hoagie House over there.
I do. Mm-hmm.
I always get turkey, extra shredded lettuce, and mayo, and that's it. I know.
I can respect that.
It's flavorless, and it reminds me of my childhood, and I love it. And I never deviate from that order.
That's perfect.
And did they have, okay, this is, everyone's turned this off. They're like, we wanted to hear about Two Broke Girls. She's talking about sandwiches.
We'll get there.
Whatever. This is a huge deal for me, guys. This is a big deal.
Okay, now we will help other people.
Okay, sorry, guys. Sorry.
I loved.
I know, same. I could literally talk about this all day.
I'd love to get into your acting career, starting with Two Broke Girls.
Yes.
Because it's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, my goodness.
I just think that you guys had such a great dynamic, and it was so much. It was like this lovely, dry humor with such a contrast between the two of you. It was so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
What was your initial reaction finding out that you got cast in that show?
Oh, my God. Well, first of all, thank you, because I was just texting with Beth just now, who played Caroline in that show, who I still love and adore. And we basically grew up on that show together. I think we started it when I was 22 and we wrapped when I was 30 or something. I can't do math. No, that's wrong. Anyway, whatever, 29, something like that. She is so fantastic. But so the way this happened was, it was a pilot, which is just, for anyone who wouldn't know about this, you make a TV show, but your first episode is called the pilot, and you make the pilot, and the studio and network decide whether they want to pick it up to series. So you just never know what's going to happen with a pilot. And I had only done in indie movies and stuff, and I had just gotten cast in Thor, we hadn't shot it yet. Or something, or we had shot it and it hadn't come out. That's what it was. We had shot it, it hadn't come out yet, and then I got a call offering me, so I didn't have to audition for this, offering me the role of Max Black, and I was like, "Are they sure?" Sure. This seems like such a funny, because I'd only done semi-dramatic indie movies, and then 40-Year-Old Virgin and these other comedies. So I was like, this is so weird. I can't believe they want me for this. Why would they want me? And then I realized that the main boss creator of this show, Michael Patrick King, had worked with me when I was 14 on an episode of Sex and the City. And so it was this strange full circle moment. And I was like, wow, this is so weird. So it's you shoot in front of an audience and they laugh and you just pretend they're not there, and this is so wild, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. And it took off. It was just the craziest thing that it became what it ended up being, which was this very raunchy, fun experience that I could never have known what it was going to be like. And it was really amazing. So yeah, I got a call and I went to sushi with Whitney Cummings and Michael Patrick King, and they convinced me to do it. I was like, all right. And that's it. That's the story.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Now, I enjoyed what dry humor Max had.
Yeah.
How often would you break?
Never.
That is so impressive.
I think maybe once in 6 years, 7 years, 6 seasons, I broke once. I don't remember what it was.
That's
I can't.
Think the
I don't
reason
break.
that's so impressive, because there were so many times where you would hit a line and I would laugh out loud and then be like, how do you know? Why do you?
Because I'm terrified and thinking of my next line. That's why. It's
on to the next one.
It's true. It's true. I'm sorry to admit that, but most of the time when I'm performing, I'm just thinking about whatever I'm going to say next.
If it works, it works.
I'm the opposite of Meryl Streep. Let's just put it that way. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say next and wondering if I messed that last line up, and that's pretty much it.
And now you're back in sitcom world, starring in Shifting Gears on ABC.
Yes.
The season finale is airing next Wednesday, March 19th at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Yes.
And you can stream it the next day on Hulu. That's where I have been binging it personally.
Oh my God. Amazing. Thank you so much.
In the show, you play a mom of two teenagers. How did it feel to be in that mom character role?
That's a first for me. that I've never played a mom, and I didn't really know what to do next, like career wise, because I was like, I'm 38, like I'm in this area where like I could play mom, but like me, I'm 12. How could I play a mother? Like that's crazy. But obviously the maths, and I was excited about the idea, doing something I've never done before and playing up this side of my life, because I am a stepmother. I have 2 stepchildren, and I'm a godmother, and I have nieces and nephews that are like my own children. And so I have this big side of me where there are a lot of children involved in my life. So I was really excited to do that. And yeah, I've never gotten to do that before. And then obviously Tim Allen is, this is the Tim Allen's next sitcom, which is like, he's an icon of television. So I was like, I can't really pass up this opportunity. This would be really fun. And it is.
It's been so much fun to watch because I think it's a little bit, especially in the beginning, it's sort of that like more serious.
Yeah.
And you feel that like the weight of it a little bit more, just because you're discussing like missing your mom and how it changed the dynamic with your dad, and no spoiler alerts, but it's
yeah.
really fun to watch you sort of navigate that dynamic, and then watching the kids sort of bond with their grandparent is like a lot of fun to check out as well. So absolutely check it out. I'm really enjoying it. I have not finished it yet, but obviously, because we're waiting for the season finale next week, but I'm not caught up to the end. So
no spoilers.
Yes, please.
You're so nice. Thank you. It's a really interesting experience, because we are dealing with like grief and real issues on this. And it feels kind of crazy to be raw and emotional in front of an audience like that. And it's this incredible combination of like theater and burlesque or something like that. But as soon as I look into Tim Allen's little face, I'm in there. Like I forget about everything else, because he's really, everyone knows he's great, but he's a very present actor, and he's really feeling these things. And I really haven't experienced that a huge amount, because like me, people are thinking about their next line or whatever they're doing. He's so in the moment, and he's such an amazing actor, and he will just be there with you. And I experience these feelings without having to think about. There's one episode where we have to get emotional, and we were both really dreading it. It's like, oh God, we have to cry. What is this? But it's like I looked at him and I started crying, and then he looked at me and he started crying. It was real. And in the first episode, we both get emotional, and it was real. Like these aren't, and it's just it's incredible to do with him and the kids. Everybody is really amazing. And that just makes the funny parts even funnier and such a relief to do. And it's just been a very good, organic feeling like show to make, which is new. It's a new experience for me.
That's awesome. Well, I am personally very much enjoying it, and encourage everyone else to check it out.
Thank you so much.
I said it last week. Liquid Death is literally me. What do I have in common with them? Well, they don't care if I curse. Fucking love that. And they're passionate about water. And so am I, because my hydration needs right now are a little bit elevated. Well, since I have trouble giving myself any compliments ever, Queen Emma has written out some similarities between me and Liquid Death. Number 1, people think we're tough on the outside, but on the inside, we're just water and iced tea. Number 2, we both hate plastic. That's correct. Speaking of, Liquid Death donates a portion of proceeds from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution. Gosh, just love them more. Number 3, everybody loves us and enjoys our company, especially our production teams. I see how you snuck that in there, Queen Emma. Now, as I've mentioned, I'm a big fan of Liquid Death's Mountain Water. It's currently in my refrigerator. And right here. Liquid Death is available nationwide, literally anywhere you shop for water or iced tea. And for all Not Gonna Lie listeners, they're giving $2 off any 2 6-packs. Just go to liquiddeath.com/Kylie for details. Let's go all the way back to your early career. Before you moved out to LA, did you have formal training in acting?
Absolutely not.
You were winging it.
My first manager, God bless her, she was out of her mind, and she was like a child manager. So you know what I'm talking about. It's a vibe. It's a real vibe.
Yep.
And her husband, and you know what? These are great people. I'm not going to say anything shady, but it was a little funny. Her husband had an acting studio, in quotes, that every client that she signs had to go to. So
sure,
9-year-old me goes to this acting class, and it's full of bright-eyed young people. And this guy just tore into these kids like you wouldn't believe. I mean, soul crushing to the point where a teenage boy left the room crying. Okay.
Oh, God.
It was so horrible. And they had me read like a chiclet commercial, like a fake commercial off of paper. And that was like a exercise or something. I don't know. And I did a bad job because, of course, I'm 9.
No formal training.
I'm 9 years old. And he was like, that was terrible. You're never going to be an actress. You have no instincts. I was like, I'm selling imaginary chiclets, sir. Like, what instincts exist for this year? So I really fought back against that. And I went outside and I like gave a pep talk to this like very cute 16-year-old teenage boy who was like crying. And I was like, it's going to be okay. I really don't think he knows what he's talking about. You should act anyway. Don't listen to him. Like, and needless to say, I didn't go back there, and I did end up being an actress, so he can suck it.
Shove it.
That said, I'm sure he's a great person, and he has his tough love ways, but you know, I didn't have a great experience in the acting class world. Now I know a lot of people absolutely thrive on that, and there are wonderful places, and I'm sure that's great. I'm not good at that.
I did read that Dennings is actually a stage name.
Yes.
So did you choose that when you were 14?
I chose it when I was 9.
Did you really?
I did. In fact,
was there any particular reason for that?
Yes, there is.
Of course
because
there is.
My real last name is Litwack. That's all you need to hear. So
that's that.
That's that. And at 9, I was like, this isn't going to work for me.
Yes.
This is not going to work. I can't see that name.
I like that 9-year-old you was like, absolutely not.
I was very ahead of her time. I don't know where. I was a CEO situation. I was like, this can't be displayed on a poster. It shan't happen. And so do you happen to know who Lloyd Alexander is? Who's a children's author who wrote The Black Cauldron, among many others, other classics. So randomly, he was my mother's best friend. So I went there every week until I was 15 years old, and they were like my grandparents, he and his wife. So his wife's name was Janine Denis. She was French, and it was Denni. And I thought it would be a super sick idea if I took her name and made it like kind of different. Sure. Literally, that was the thinking. That's as far as it went.
That's amazing.
But so Dennings is from her. And Kat, because my name is Catherine and I have all kinds of nicknames for that. Kat, I chose because Christina Ricci's character, Kat, in the movie Casper, was my favorite character at the time. So I was like, okay, Kat Dennings, this is it. I can really picture it. And that's literally that's it. The whole story.
That's perfect.
It's insane.
That segues me to an important question I have for you. Speaking of, look at us headed right back to Wynwood.
Amazing.
Is it true that your house was haunted?
You bet. and it probably still is, ma'am.
Were we like experiencing paranormal activity?
We were.
Like to what? Were you?
Yeah. Listen.
Tell me.
if I don't see it, I don't believe it. I'm a very staunch person, and I saw some activity.
Did you? Really?
Everybody who lived in that house experienced something.
Are we talking like footsteps, opening cabinets, flickering lights?
Yes, the classics.
All of it.
All the classics and some other ones. So this house was built in 1892. It was one of the first houses in the area.
Sure.
And it had a plaque.
So plenty of time for people to die.
So many people died in there, you wouldn't even believe it. It has a plaque on it from the Historical Society. And every year, the Historical Society would come through the house doing a tour. And I'd be eating like my cornflakes. I'd be like, hello?
Good morning.
Like 20 ladies like walking through with like pamphlets looking at my like Hanson posters or whatever. It was insane. And so this is a very old house, and you're not allowed to change old houses. Like you can't break down walls or anything. It's like a sacred thing. So there were a lot of like we had like a butler door that was like a swinging door. That door would swing itself, man. That door would swing itself. Lights would go on and off. Things would fall, things would go missing and turn up other places, things like that. And then the two craziest ones, and I know it makes me sound insane, and I am, so it's fine.
No.
I lived on the third floor, which some could call the attic. Some might call it an attic.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I had a drum set because I was into that at the time. I was like not 8 years old. I was very into the drums. One night, that's right, you guessed it, they were drumming. I heard drums, and I was asleep, and I was like, huh? And I look up, and someone's playing the drums. And I know it sounds insane, but they were drumming.
See, the problem is that I believe you.
You should. It's horrible. How do you think I feel? So someone was doing it. And and look, I had just woken up. Some could argue I hallucinated this, but here's the proof. Here's the proof. Okay. The person drumming that I concluded to be like a young boy, because I was convinced the attic was haunted by specifically a young boy. Sticks get dropped. Sticks fly off and go underneath on either side of the room. There were like storage cabinets with like a small space under the cabinet. Sticks go flying. I'm like, what a weird dream. I'm going to go back to bed. And guess what?
The next morning, they were still under the storage cabinet.
Right.
No.
Yes. And I always put them on the snare drum.
Did you keep sleeping up there?
What am I going to... You think my mom was like, oh, you don't like it up there anymore? Cool. Yeah. No, of course I kept sleeping, but I was terrified.
See, the problem with the haunted house is that if you're upstairs, it's a young boy playing the drum set. But if you try to sleep on the couch, maybe it's the old lady. Maybe
there's a couch ghost that I didn't know about.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a lose-lose.
The last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is something that I might need some help in.
Oh, I'm happy to help with whatever it is.
It's my understanding that you are a big cat lover.
Yes.
And that you do great work supporting the ISPCA.
I try to support them and my local rescues or any rescue that reaches out that needs exposure and stuff. Yeah. So
I am in a great debate with my husband about getting a cat. Our daughter, our oldest daughter, just the other day told Dad, we're going to buy a cat. And he was like, Kylie, did you tell her we're going to buy a cat today? And I was like, I swear I did not.
Oh my God.
It wasn't me.
Wow.
But then I said to her, do you want to go to the SPCA? Because that's where we always got our cats there.
Mm-hmm.
But so my husband has told our daughters that cats are poisonous.
Excuse me? What is he doing? He's trying everything now.
He's
trying it.
Desperate to not have a cat, which is hilarious because I have told the story many times where he grew up with a cat, Flash, who he was forever impressed by. She would like catch birds midair in the backyard and it blew his mind.
Right. Okay. So he does like cats.
He has an appreciation for Flash.
Here's the other thing I like to tell people is that everyone wants a kitten. And myself included, everyone wants a kitten. They're so cute. However,
I want to visit them.
Right. And they're only kittens for a very short time. And then they're cats. So you might be better off with your husband and maybe take him. How could he resist, man? He can't. Take him in to maybe meet a cat who's a little older, who's already really feisty. And he might, toss a couple of things, watch that cat fly for it, and he'll fall in love. Like consider an older cat. That's what I would recommend, because then the personality is already sort of established. Yeah.
Right.
And then
you're not getting a variable.
Right. Because with kittens, it really depends on like how they're raised and the environment that will like say a lot about.
This is so helpful.
Because for me, all of my cats have been very anxious. And you can guess how that happened.
That was innate. That was nature, not nurture.
Absolutely not. So I would say maybe a cat who's over a year old, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like he'll fall in love. It will not be possible. You need to take him in and meet some cats.
So I'm going to tell you my backup plan here.
Okay.
Is that one day I'm just going to take our kids to
you're bad. You are evil.
Rescue.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to pick out a cat and then I'm going to bring the cat home.
Yeah. To foster.
And I'm going to, no.
Oh, you're just going to get
full blown.
Good.
I'm going to full commit. And then I'm going to make sure that it's like a day or two where he's not home, where he's traveling. Because at that point, the girls will be like, this is the best thing ever.
Yep.
They'll get to bond with the cat.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get to experience all the love and the cuddles and all of it. Or just watch the cat if the cat is not a cuddly cat.
Right.
And then by the time he returns,
it's too late.
You can't be the worst person ever and send the cat back.
That's brilliant. What I thought you were going to do is have them fall in love with the cat at the place and then incessantly ask him and beg him for it. No, this is even
no.
This is even more amazing. You should do that.
More direct. It's
what's he going to do about it?
He's not going to send it back. He's going to have 4 little girls looking at him like, Dad, it's our cat.
That's right.
Right?
He would.
I feel like this makes a lot of sense.
I endorse this concept.
Thank you so much.
I think you're on the right track here. Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
So when you come back to the Philadelphia area.
Yeah. Which I will.
Because naturally.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just meet up at the local SPCA.
Oh, absolutely. I will be.
And just hang out with all the cats.
I will be your cat doula. I will figure this out for you. And I can also mediate the experience between you and your husband. I'll be like, listen, it's me. I've brought this cat into your home. And you can direct all complaints to this email address. It'll be fake. And then you'll just be out of the line of fire. And he'll be so annoyed that his emails keep coming back from my fake cat doula email address that he'll already be over it.
Yes. Perfect.
Great.
This is great. I really appreciate your support.
Oh, anytime. I can help you with this easily.
It has been such a pleasure talking to you. I am so happy that we got to chat about the Philly suburbs and in a way that no one else will understand. That's
true. And you know what? I wouldn't have had it any other way. This is a joy and a pleasure. And thank you for having me. I've had a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so excited to continue watching, but also for next week's finale.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Maybe I'll catch up in time to be able to watch it.
And if you don't, you can just stream it on Hulu. If I don't,
I'll stay on Hulu. I'll stay on Hulu.
You kind of have other things going on right now, so.
Just a couple.
Don't worry about it. Oh my
Small
God.
stuff.
Just, yeah,
Thank you
small
so much
stuff.
for coming on.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was really so much fun.
Thank you so much again to Kat Dennings for joining me today. You can find even more clips from my conversation with Kat on my YouTube channel on More Shit Monday. And that does it for this week's episode of Not Gonna Lie. I'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode that I may or may not have manifested. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on all social media at NGL with Kylie. Not Gonna Lie is a Wave original brought to you by Liquid Death. Thank you guys for tuning in.